You probably had conversations with friends who sided with Eren, or you could have watched YouTube reactors who claimed that they would have joined Eren. Eren Yeager is a great protagonist, be it live action or anime. I think his actions and Attack on Titan fans siding with him has a lot more to it than we realize. It was Aristotle who said, "For a lesser evil can be considered good in comparison with a greater evil, because this lesser evil is preferable to the greater evil, and all that is preferable is good." I believe this quote applies to both Eren and Zeke's separate plans. Zeke initially wanted to unleash some of the rumbling on the world, but his big plan was to make Eldians unable to procreate. They would eventually cease to exist. Zeke's plan was equivalent to the termination of life support. When a critically ill patient is at the end of life stage and they're going to die, patients are given the option of a good death. It's a pain-free process, and they can be around loved ones when it happens. Zeke's plan may be the lesser of two evils. If that's the case, why are people still siding with Eren? He didn't just decide one day out of boredom to attack Marley. The leadership on Paradise Island failed to manifest a solution that would guarantee the safety of its citizens. It seemed like a failure on the part of the leaders. Viewers may relate to Eren's situation. Just in America alone, only 4% of US adults believe the political system works well. 23% believe it works somewhat well. 63% don't have enough or don't have any confidence in the political system. When given an opportunity to sum up the political system in a word or phrase, most people said corrupt, divisive, and chaos. Christopher Serkin, a Vanderbilt Law School professor, said, "In some contexts, government inaction is the most costly choice for all of society." For example, he brought up rising sea levels having an impact on property owners. But I'm going to repeat the quote because I think it has importance. Some governments are failing to take aggressive steps to address the risk of sea level rise, at least partly because they worry that regulatory responses might trigger lawsuits based on what was taken from property owners. Establishing new setbacks from the ocean, prohibitions on seawalls and the like can make governments vulnerable to lawsuits and discourage some from adopting these and other available measures. Regarding this quote, while it's unlikely that Paradise Island deals with lawsuits, the point is that Paradise government may be trying to protect itself from criticism. There also seems to be reluctancy to figuring out a solution to a complex problem. Eren gave Paradise Island time to develop a solution. It's not like he had long. He had a total of 13 years to live. We really only see government officials act against people it can bully. The first thing that happens when the Survey Corps gets back to Paradise Island from the attack on Marley, Eren is thrown in jail. Easy solution. Premier Zachary then has cadets brought to him so that he could choose a successor to the founding Titan. Easy solution. When Flock and the Yeagerists leaked the news about Eren, they were placed in jail. Easy solution. The government focused on what it saw as easy fixes. Punishment. There was no real solution for how to address the many nations who wanted to end all Eldians. Even Hanji apologized because she realized failing to create a solution prompted Eren to attack accordingly. The following example is a real-world incident that occurred in Mexico. 5 individuals, 4 men and a woman, were tortured and threatened with hanging and death. They were accused of being part of a criminal organization. Apparently, some of these members weren't just former members of the local police, but were some officers. Citizens found the evidence, so it wasn't hearsay, and the police arrested these 5 individuals. Later, those citizens broke into police station to take justice into their own hands. Public lynching accomplishes a few things. It makes people question if the legal system works. It also shows that people want effective justice, and it's a cry against a political system marked by corruption, ineffectiveness, and injustice. Eren took action because of an ineffective government. And it's not just the current Paradise government. This applies to King Fritz and the royal family. The founding Titan was passed down through royal blood, and for years nothing was done to free Eldians trapped on Paradise Island. On the contrary, that power was used to entrap the citizens. Their freedom was taken away, the very thing Eren despises. And through his dad's memories, even his own trip to Marley, he's seen Marley's solution to peace. Eren felt that he had no choice but to do something so horrific. Certainly, he could have come up with a better solution. I mean, Zeke's plan didn't involve fighting. Researchers study group dynamics, specifically when someone loses touch with their own morals and beliefs and does something wrong. One researcher said, although humans exhibit strong preferences for equity and moral prohibitions against harm, in many contexts, people's priorities change when there is an us and a them. In this study, researchers measured brain activity in a part of the brain involved in thinking about oneself, and they found that in some people, this activity was reduced when the subjects participated in a competition as part of a group compared with when they competed as individuals. Those people were more likely to harm their competitors than people who did not exhibit this decreased brain activity. With a feeling of self-preservation, his love for his friends, his love for freedom, Eren was always going to go down this path. One thing we don't want to underestimate is the power of character bonding. That's when we're attracted to a fictional character's personality traits. Eren is a great character with an unrelenting desire for freedom. He's really not all that different from characters like Neo from The Matrix, the narrator from Fight Club, Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, and Lelouch from Code Geass. Each of those stories are about the main protagonist rebelling against an oppressive system. We're naturally drawn to the idea of rebelling against any system that hinders us. With Eren, we've been with him since the beginning, experienced the story through his eyes, seen his strengths as well as his flaws. Mostly everyone can relate to Eren's motive to protect his friends, his family, his people, but it's his actions, his method that everyone acknowledges is wrong. Well, that's it for Attack on Titan, a masterpiece anime. If you enjoyed this reaction and review, please like, share, comment. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Take it easy.